U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is all set to arrive in Israel on Sunday and is set to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It reported that Blinken would possibly make other stops in Cairo along with Doha. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary General has called for an urgent pause in the fighting so that more than 600,000 children can be vaccinated against polio. TD India's Jody Jacobs has more from New York.
Very little is known about the trip at this stage, with Antony Blinken having earlier this week postponed a trip to the Middle East over heightened security concerns in the region and a possible retaliation attack from Iran against Israel. Fresh mediated negotiations between Israel and Hamas started this week, spearheaded by the United States, Qatar and Egypt. On Friday, the three countries issuing a statement saying they've presented a final proposal to the parties for a ceasefire and hostage deal that they hope can be agreed upon by the end of next week. Meanwhile, here at the United Nations, calls are ever increasing for a ceasefire after more than 10 months of intense fighting in the Gaza Strip. Addressing reporters here in New York, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for warring parties in Gaza to lay down their arms so that humanitarians can safely vaccinate more than 500,000 children against polio.
A successful polio vaccination campaign needs safety. Safety for health workers to do their jobs, safety for children and families to get to the health facilities, and safety for those health facilities to be protected from bombardment. I am appealing to all parties to provide concrete assurances right away, guaranteeing humanitarian pauses for the campaign.
Polio virus was recently detected in sewage samples in 2 locations in the Gaza Strip. The disease, which can cause paralysis, the world body says, is now circulating in the enclave and putting thousands of children at risk. The World Health Organization is planning to launch a 2-phase campaign to vaccinate thousands of children under the age of 10. But this can only happen if the safety of healthcare workers can be guaranteed and will involve more than 700 teams at hospitals and primary health centers, many barely functioning. Jody Jacobs in New York reporting for TD India.